15 minutes. That's nothing, right? For a moment, just think about how quickly 15 minutes passes. Go ahead, we'll give you a second. Now, what if we told you 15 minutes could change your life? Welcome to 15-Minute Transformation with Shana James. 15 minutes out of your day could help transform your mindset, your habits, and your lifestyle. If you're looking to improve your relationships, boost your productivity, or just be happier and more fulfilled, get ready for practical insights and inspiration that you can use right now. 15 minutes to change your life. This is 15-Minute Transformation with Shana James.
Hey, and welcome to 15-Minute Transformations. I'm your host, Shana L. James. Super glad to be with you guys today for another episode. Hey, and don't forget, in these episodes, I'm helping, hopefully, you to transform your life 15 minutes at a day, one episode at a time. Hey, today I want to continue just sharing with you a little bit about this concept of transforming our attitudes, right? Transforming our mindset and the way we view things, and doing that in 15 minutes a day. As I shared with you on yesterday's podcast, I actually am reading and have read this book called Micro Resilience by Bonnie St. John and Alan Haynes. And one of the best things that I've got from this book, and I learned this several years ago, in fact, and it's really transformed my life, is about how do I adjust my attitude about a difficult situation right in the middle of the situation. Here's what I mean. A lot of times we think about traumatic or difficult things that happen to us, and we create these long-term things that we can do that can kind of help us to feel better over time, like eating better or exercising or going to see a therapist. All of those things do their work in a long-term way. But there are things we can do in those moments that can really help us to bounce back from a difficulty and to not take so long to bounce back. So for instance, there are things like if something happens and somebody talks and they yell at you at work, what can I do to bounce back in that moment? And I think of it in the book, Micro Resilience, it talks about it from this perspective of thinking of it like this way. If you have a child and they get cut and they have to, they're bleeding, what do you go and grab? You go and grab an emergency kit, which has Band-Aids and, antibacterial things and sprays and all this kind of stuff, creams to put on to begin to immediately stop the bleeding so that healing can start, right? That's an emergency kit. Well, Bonnie St. John calls, and says we have this same thing necessary for us emotionally. And she calls it an emergency joy kit. Yes, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something. This one right here, it got me. It straight got me because I never really thought about it. Most times when things get rough or get bad, you know what my response is? I get sad. I stay in that moment. I keep on yelling about it. I keep on going through the same, concepts over and over in my brain, mad. Or I sit on the couch and I eat potato chips. Oh, yes, y'all. That's the best way. No, it's not. I'm just messing with you. It feels good, but it's not the best way to kind of deal with what's going on. But we need something in those moments to apply first aid to us emotionally, right? We need something in those moments that can kind of help us to readjust how we're feeling so that we can move forward in the rest of the day. We need something that can not steal our joy. And let me just make this very clear, because joy, most people are looking for happiness, but what we really sort of need and really need to maintain is joy, because joy is very different from happiness. And joy can be, happiness is kind of based upon emotions of what we're feeling in the moment, but joy, it's an emotion experienced that moves beyond our emotions. It's a sense of significance and value and hope in life. It's very different because it it exceeds our thoughts about maybe our moment and about the consequences that we're in right now. And it's this idea of being satisfied with life that moves beyond our experiences, right? It's this idea of feeling blessed no matter what's going on. Joy is this internal feeling that everything is going to be okay, and I'm hopeful. Whereas happiness can be gone. If something doesn't work out, my happiness, I'm no longer happy about it. In fact, I'm now sad, but I can still have joy. The Bible says the joy of the Lord is my strength. Where my strength can comes from his joy. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I've experienced a lot of major traumatic things in my life, and I've learned to keep my hope focused on God, that he's going to come through and that things are going to get better. But I realize that many times in my day-to-day life, I hadn't had that same sense of joy. It's like I had to kind of work to make sure on a daily, everyday basis that emotionally I could keep that same positive attitude in the midst of whatever my circumstances were. So this emergency joy kit became this really important thing for me, because what the emergency joy kit did was it said, I need to find things like Band-Aids to put over my emotions in difficult moments, so that I'm not making this a long-term struggle for me to deal with something difficult. It's like this. If you've ever been mad at your boss for saying something to you and you stayed mad for like weeks, or your spouse, I've seen spouses, I'm going to be honest with you. I counsel people, and I've seen people stay mad and not talk to each other for weeks, and they live in the same house. And a part of that is because the joy is gone. We're struggling. We're angry. We're upset. We don't know how to move and say, hey, this is still something good here. And we don't know how to heal those emotional hurts. Now, don't get me wrong. There are definitely some communication challenges or some very real feelings of hurt and anger that are authentic. I'm not saying we shouldn't have those, but I am saying there is this thing that we can do on a regular basis to begin to help us heal our emotional cuts and bruises, right? That can help us heal that place of hurt when someone has done something to us, or some situation has happened and we need to come back. Maybe somebody overreacted, a client overreacted, or you were given a deadline that felt absolutely impossible. Or, maybe you forgot to do something for your kid, or you didn't meet your expectations or commitments that you were supposed to do. And all of those can kind of start hitting you, and you start to feel bad at the end of the day, and you carry those over. And so what a emotional joy kit is, an emergency joy kit is it's this little box, just like an emergency first aid kit, designed to cheer you up and to help your brain to begin to rethink about and reframe these negative experiences and emotions into a place where you can come back, not to say those things don't matter, but that you can come back and find hope and joy once again in the moment, where it doesn't cause you to be stuck in this same thing, right? So what the joy kit is basically like you can get a box, an actual box, like a cigar box or a shoe box or something, and you can put things inside of there that actually touch your heart and make you feel joy. Maybe some of the things you put in your joy kit are like pictures of your children, or pictures of babies. I don't know, something about looking at little babies. It always just makes me smile. I don't even know why. Like, as long as I ain't got to change their diaper, that's straight truth, right? If I don't have to care for them, but I can look at the cute little things they do, it kind of makes me smile again. It makes me say that there's hope in the world, that there's something better. Or maybe your joy kit could have in it your favorite little treat, like you like little candy or something that brings you joy. Maybe your joy kit is a souvenir from a trip you took. Your joy kit doesn't have to also be, it could be a thank you note. It could be a card. Y'all ever got all those cards, those beautiful birthday cards and thank you cards from people and never know what to do with them? Some of them maybe really touch you and touch home, put them in your Joy Kit. Put them in that little box. And there are those of you who are kind of like, yeah, nah, I ain't about to carry no box around with me everywhere I go. Well, you can also do this digitally, right? You can use your cell phone, and that's where my Joy Kit is. My cell phone has pictures of my children and defining moments, videos of them that make me laugh when I'm going through difficult times, songs I put on in my Joy Kit, and literally you can do a file on your phone where you hold all of these things dear. You can, highlight and heart or favorite several pictures and put them in a file called Joy Kit, Emergency Joy Kit. And then whenever you need them, you pull those pictures out. You can do a file of songs that are Emergency Joy Kit songs. I mean, there are songs that just immediately bring joy and lift me up. Some of them are Christian, some of them are not, but they inspire and they make me feel good and they make me feel better. But I listen to that music and it'll help. There may be poems. Sometimes I take pictures on my phone of text messages from my children when they actually being nice or saying, thank you, Mom, for something. I put those in my Joy Kit. Or maybe your Joy Kit is a smell. Sometimes you might have a candle or like a real candle that you pull out, and that's not digital, but it's in your house and it makes the smell kind of reminds you of something joyful. Or flowers, or articles. You can put articles on your cell phone for your Joy Kit that make you feel good. You can remind yourself of places you've traveled to in your Joy Kit digitally. But basically what you're doing is you're having a little place together where you're able to pull when something happens emotionally. And this can be done in 15 minutes or less. You don't have to sit there and look at those photos for like hours. Anybody asking you to looking at it for hours? But for under 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, you can pull those things out. And I would say like it should be things that are not necessarily already out and around you. Like I know when you go to work, you put pictures of your kids up on your desk or maybe on your walls or whatever, if you have that option, or in your house if you're working from home. These should be things that are kind of tucked away, because if you see them all the time, you kind of lose that sense of awe and joy when you see them again for the first time. But if they're tucked away and you're like, hey, I had a bad conversation or a bad situation happen at work, or somebody just got on my nerves, or I learned something this happened, or my car broke down, or I found out they took, I had identity theft, or just any little thing that can steal your joy, then what you want to do is you want to pull that iPhone out, or that little box out, and then open it up and start looking at it. I forgot to include this, but your Joy Kit should absolutely, if you're a believer and a Christian, I want to encourage you to put scriptures in there. Your favorite scriptures that inspire you and encourage you can go inside of your Joy Kit. Fill it with those things that just make you feel better about you. All of this is designed to help begin to transform the way we see obstacles and challenges and difficulties that happen in our life, and to be able to heal and to deal with things quickly. And now, mind you, I want to say this is not the Emotional Joy Kit is not meant to be the end all be all for your mental health. In other words, it's just the quick Band-Aid. It's just something quick to help you get through the day. I still want to encourage you, make sure you go see your therapist or a spiritual counselor. Find someone to talk to deal with those deep emotional hurts. But in the moment, sometimes we don't have the space to really be like, oh, I got to process and deal with all of this. In the moment, we just need something that's going to help us have a better attitude so that, watch this, so that we don't go out and then begin to go off on everybody else because we had an emotional bruise or something that's happened or cut that's happening to us from someone else. A lot of times we take that out on other people, and we don't need to take that out on other people. We really can just pull out our Emotional Joy Kit, find joy, remind ourselves we're going to have to process this, but maybe not in this moment. And then find that joy from our Joy Kit. Look at that baby laugh. And look, sometimes there are videos, just pull out. I hate to say this, but TikTok, I don't think you should be on TikTok for forever, but you can look on TikTok for some really good, or Instagram Reels for some really good things that are like help bring you joy and that make you feel a little bit better. Here's the weirdest thing in my Joy Kit. Yeah, I want to know the weirdest thing in my Joy Kit. The weirdest thing in my Joy Kit is videos of people getting their hair cut. I I have no idea. But it's something about seeing the transformation of knowing that the things that are dead and the dead ends are being clipped away and gone, and there is a fresh start and it's healthy and whole for you just by looking at a hair video. I know I'm crazy, but it really does bring me joy. So sometimes if I'm really down, I'll just look at videos of people getting their hair cut. And I love the transformation of seeing someone, the before and after pictures. So what do you do? What do I want you to do with today's message? I hope you get your emergency joy kit. I hope you find that place that when you experience small cuts and bruises emotionally throughout the day, that you can find a way to get some joy so that you can reframe and rechange your brain so that it doesn't mess up the rest of your day. And you can go about and continue to do the things that you need to do to get through your day successfully without bruising even more. Well, that's it for me today. This is 15-Minute Transformations with Shana James. Hope you've got something out of this. Remember, you can transform your life one episode at a time in just 15 minutes a day. Hope you have a great day.
You've been listening to 15-Minute Transformation with Shana James. If you take 15 minutes of your day and use it how Shana recommends, you will change your life. Shana is a certified life coach, a pastor, and a transformation expert. Real, authentic, and right to the point. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Coach Shana. And be sure to head over to the website at powerof15minutes.com. Remember, if you do something for 15 minutes for 1 year, at the end of the year, you spent 100 hours on that task. Powerful. See you next time on 15-Minute Transformation with Shana James.